next. There we go.
Should be.
Okay, at 7 o'clock, we'll open our meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Consent agenda consists of regular meeting minutes dated September 8th, 2025, monthly bills in the amount of $127,270.20, and our treasurer's report.
I move to approve the consent agenda, which consists of the regular meeting minutes of September 8th, 2025, the township payroll, and the monthly bills in the amount of $127,270.20, and acknowledge the treasurer's report.
Support.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor with support. Any questions, comments, concerns? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. Our report section, Don, Fire Department?
Yep. So with any luck at all, technology didn't spoil, you should have a copy of my report. September was pretty much an average month for us. MFR runs were down slightly, fire runs were about equal. Vehicle accidents are up a little bit due to the Harvest Festival or whatever you call that. So anyhow, that's where it is. I'd be happy to answer any questions if I can.
Six in total, Don. That was
Yeah.
quite a jump from what I remember in the past.
Yeah, that's usually 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Nothing real serious, just a mess.
I would like to compliment your firefighters. They went up to the elementary school to gain excitement for the pancake breakfast, and those kids were just so excited. And the teachers sent out pictures of all the children around the fire trucks to every classroom and every parent. So well done. They did a great job. The kids loved it.
Yeah, that is really, I don't know if you've ever done anything in schools like that, but it's really rewarding. Those kids come up to you years later and they know you. And I keep those pictures, and then when some of them become friends, I show them what they used to look like.
Well, all the kids came home with a fire hat, a bag with a coloring book and crayons and some other paperwork. So again, well done. Please pass that on to your team.
Good. We enjoy doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looked like the pancake breakfast went off pretty well, Don.
Not too bad. We felt the effects of the pole being bad where the banner usually goes.
Dick
We
started
were down
mentioning that to me.
about 100 people, 125 people from where we're usually at.
No kidding. It looked like a great turnout. Yeah,
It was much nicer, I thought. It just flowed nice rather than just like it's bombarded.
Is there anything that the township board can help you with getting that pole replaced over there on?
I just need a MDOT contact that cares.
That cares?
Yeah, that's what I really need.
That's a challenge.
The guy that's working uptown, I keep missing him. I'm hoping to get him and maybe befriend him and say, yeah, just go ahead and put it in, and then I'll get Dan since they're right there. But we have the pole.
Oh, you have a pole?
Oh, we have poles.
Good.
Everybody says, I've got a pole, but no one has any contact.
Yeah, to get it in.
So,
They have to approve it?
yes, it's in the right of way.
Okay.
Have you talked to Angela Edwards at all?
Who?
Angela Edwards from the DDA, they have a contact
Yes. Yeah.
with MDOT because that's what they use to close down the road. She might be able to guide you to a person that might answer.
I've spoken to Angela about it. When the rustic bluebird moved out, we got a real education on that pole from MDOT. It now takes almost an act of Congress just to put the banner up. There's forms and things you have to apply for a permit. We weren't doing that. The bluebird moved out. The owner of that building put a dumpster in the right of way of M53. MDOT spotted it and just lost their mind. So then they were interested in our pole, which happened to have a banner on it for the DDA. we got a real education quickly next to the owner of that building, Mr. Warner.
Yeah, Romeo has it. Romeo has the same setup in
Yeah,
town. Yeah, they have.
we just need to get the pole replaced. It's rotting off at the ground and going on maintenance.
It's just suspended by one pole, Don?
No, there's a pole on the east or west side of the road that's still good. The one on, the
And
east
that
side
one's
of
in the
the
road right away?
What's that?
That one's in the road right
Both
away?
are, yeah.
What happens if you went just off the right of way and put a pole in somebody's yard, got permission, then put it across the road?
Well, there was a Eschenberg fellow that owned a house right there that was in his front yard now, basically.
There isn't one there anymore, so, okay.
Yeah.
Anything else for the chief? Thanks, Don.
Thank you, Don.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We all should have a copy of the Clemis report from the police department. We don't have a representative here tonight. But if there's any comments, concerns, I guess now's the time. Okay, we'll move on to the assessor's report. Everyone should have a copy of Andrew Yankee's report. And the OEO. There's quite a packet there of OEO reports. Any questions, comments regarding the OEO report?
Do you know how many open tribunal cases we have? I see there's 3 listed on here. And I think there was one.
What was the question, Rick?
Assessor's report?
How many, yeah, on the assessor's report,
Okay.
there's 3 open tribunal cases. Actually, I thought the one for Batani was closed.
There was either this month or last month, I paid money, I had to pay money to them to, I think, close that one out.
Okay. But I see there's 2 more, Dan Walker and then another one. And isn't there one, doesn't Rinky have one going too?
That would be an assessor question. I don't know if he does or not.
I think Dan Walker's is finalized because I just received some paperwork on that last week. So I believe that's over.
Anything else? Park board?
I'm gonna hand this off to Dennis, who attended the park board meeting this month.
Yeah, I did, and they're still, wrestling with the tennis court update. I just think that's gonna be a struggle. It's got an estimated cost of around $225,000, and I go back to Rick's question about pickleball and all the fees and stuff like that. But it's still hanging in there. Music in the park went very well this year with a balance of about $1,600. And then we went through the appointments, and I brought up the fact that maybe we would like somebody to represent the board that is not an elected official. That didn't go over very well. So I said, Kim is in a position of stepping down and want to be on the park board. So they're stuck with me. And they did get 8 cameras installed over the park. I think they spent about $3,000 on them, and they're working fabulously. I had the police departments monitoring those cameras. Well, I don't know if they're monitoring, but the chief's got it right on his phone. He showed it to me day and night, so they're working very well. I think they got a pretty good price on it, but we'll see. That's about it.
Okay, thanks, Dennis. Brings us up to public comment. Anything from the public? Like to vent? Questions? No? Okay. Old business, we have none. New business, planning commission interview. So I think we have 3 people here tonight. And Lindsay, is that you?
Yes.
Lindsay, ladies first,
All right.
okay? Just give us a little, we've got your resume and your application. Just to introduce yourself, give us a little background.
Sure. My name is Lindsay Sangstock. I've been an Almont Township resident for 9 years. I have extensive background in real estate, mortgage lending, title agency manager. I decided to escape the real estate industry and moved over to municipal operations. I have been the supervisor's assistant and planning and zoning assistant for Washington Township for the past 3 years. I actually did just recently transfer over to the building department, which kind of supports, I also have home inspection a home inspection business with my husband. So it kind of does, correspond with that very well. I would like to become more interested in, participating in the Almont Township planning. And with my experience, I do have the citizen planner certificate, which I know is entry level, but I look forward to building on that. And I am very interested in joining the team.
So Lindsay, what's your vision for the future of our township? I mean, what do you see?
For me, I love the small town feel. I love the agricultural, rural feeling of the township. I'm not familiar with our master plan, but I would, definitely dive into that and absorb as much as I could from the other commissioners before I started, really building my foundation of what the township is looking to do with moving forward.
Been a resident here for 9 years?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anything else from the board?
I guess I just have a question. So there's multiple applications for this position, but I know we do have an opening, right? For
As a
ZBA alternate.
Correct.
I just was looking at your application, like you only marked planning commission. Would that be something you would be interested in?
I would
too?
absolutely be open to that as well.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks, Lindsay.
you.
I'm sorry. How do you feel about township growth?
Well, in working with the planning and zoning department, I do understand that, every property owner has a right to develop their property. But, with, again, the master plan and what the township has set for, what they're looking for would completely determine on what, is approvable or, how that wants to move forward.
Okay.
I myself do love, the rural feeling of the township. And I do think that, we've got a little town north of us and a little town south of us. So, keeping it as rural, I think would be the most valuable thing for our community.
Okay, great. Thank you,
Yeah,
Lindsay.
absolutely. Thank you.
Anything else from the board?
Oh, I'm sorry. One more thing.
Go ahead.
Are you open and agreeable to ongoing training?
Oh, yes,
Okay, great. Thanks.
absolutely.
Dennis, you have anything?
No, I think she hit all 5 of my questions, so I'm good. Thank you.
Great. Thank you.
Lindsay.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Thank you all.
Mr. Richard Stokes. How are you?
I'm doing fine. How about yourselves?
Good, good.
Good.
Just give us a little background, Rich.
The background is so I just moved up here back in June. So I came from Clinton Township, really congested place. I don't like it there. That's why I moved out here. Background is I used to be a former planning commissioner, city of Sterling Heights, back in the early 90s. So a long time ago, but yeah. So I currently work for Clarivate Analytics, which is deals with patents and trademarks, and I'm the software owner there. So I'm an IT guy. So I'm a geek. So
What's your vision for the future here?
vision is I moved out here for a reason, like keeping it agricultural, rural. That's what I would like to see.
Mike, you have anything?
No,
Brandon?
Are you open and agreeable to ongoing training?
Yes.
Okay, thanks.
I guess my question would just be the same I asked Lindsay, because there's only one opening for the planning commission. Would you also be interested in the ZBA
Yes.
alternate? Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Rich.
Okay, great. Thank you.
thanks, Richard.
Leo Hager.
Most of you I've already met and talked to over the years. I've been patrolling the township and the village of Almont for 38 years. So I've seen some changes over the years, and thankfully not a lot of change. When I started here, we had the Almont International Airport. That's now gone. Mobile station wasn't here, so pretty much, and neither was McDonald's. You had basically Charlie Brown's and El Monte Restaurant and Maria's, and that's pretty much it. But obviously things have changed. And after seeing the change in the past 38 years, it's been slow and gradual, good change, I think. There hasn't been an explosion of uncontrolled growth as far as strip malls or vacant buildings or things like that. So when I first heard about the opening of this position on the planning commission, the first thing I did was look at the master plan, which was signed by Dennis Swears in January of this year. And the master plan is consistent with my vision for the township. We've lived here for 11 years. I've invested a lot of time in the community, obviously as a police officer, and I'd like to continue to dedicate my time to ensure that our community continues to be a rural, attractive community. People who move up here, I'm assuming most of them, at least based on the survey results from the master plan, move up here because they want to get away from the congestion and the uncontrolled growth that's just south of us. I look at, nothing against you, ma'am, Washington Township. But when we moved there, way back when, there was 11,000 people. No problem with traffic or congestion. And now it's difficult, no matter what time of day, to travel on Van Dyke, especially if you're going just south of the village of Romeo. So I certainly don't want to see that up here. I like our rural area. I like all the pristine farmland. I like driving by and seeing the corn stalks. I like seeing the cattle. And I'd like to dedicate my time, I'm going to be retiring the end of this year, the time that I have available to ensure that our community continues as it is. Now, I know that growth is inevitable, but I think the controlled growth is important. And again, like I said previously, looking at the master plan, my vision for the master plan would be exactly what you have in writing here. It's consistent with what I'd like to see the community do. That's it.
Questions for Mr. Hager?
Same question I asked the other two, because would you be considered ZBA alternate too, or are you only looking for planning commission?
No, I'd consider it.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
And then I guess my question also, are you open and agreeable to ongoing training?
Yes, I am.
Okay, thanks.
You have a master's degree in public administration.
Yes.
What does that bring to the table for us?
Well, obviously, public administration involves managing, operating a governmental entity, budget planning, human resources, where applicable, negotiations, collective bargaining agreements, et cetera. Yeah.
Thank you.
So what's your target date? You said you're retiring. Everybody's got a date in their head. This year?
Yeah, at the end of this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else for Leo? Okay, thanks, Leo.
Thank you.
Okay, just for the applicant's information, the appointment will be made at the November meeting, okay? Township board, we're going to sit down and go over your applications, and we'll definitely get in touch with all three to let you know where we're at, okay? Appreciate your interest. Thank you very much. Next item on the agenda, human resources policy updates.
Yeah, there were a few things we needed to just finish up. There was an org chart referred to in the current HR manual, and this is what we'd like to include. If anybody, this is my first stab at this, if anybody has a better idea, my feelings are not hurt. Let me know what we can do to improve this or make this a little bit more accurate. And then there was an addition as far as employee conduct and corrective action. Thought that might be a good idea to include something in the interest of consistency, transparency, and fairness to address a disciplinary process. We have not had one in the past, and it just makes sense to put something into the HR manual since we're bringing that together, trying to get that to a resolution. So I'd love to hear some feedback if anybody has any thoughts or concerns or a better idea. Again, my feelings are not hurt.
I guess I would echo what Kim said. I think if you do not have a clear policy on disciplinary action, you leave yourself at risk, because when you do need it, you don't have a template that you can use as a defendable point of discussion. So it's not that we anticipate needing it, but if you don't have it, you're just kind of leaving yourself a little bit open. And the same is true with the org chart. You don't ever want anyone to ask, well, who does what and who works for who? And that just makes it cleaner. So it's a nice job.
So Kim, I have a question. On number 3, it says, it talks about probation. Would that like fall under our 90-day probation for a new employee coming in then?
No, this would be something completely different.
Okay, but the other one is still that, we would still have the other one?
Yes,
Okay,
this would just be,
That's for new employee
Okay.
versus a discipline.
right, this
Okay,
would just be something completely different.
So on that note, do you define a probationary period for number 3? Or is that at the time of the?
I think we could, I don't want to limit the township and handcuff us. I think we would, based on the situation and the issues in front of us, we would determine that at the time based on the issues that we're dealing with right then.
Do you need to add that to the description, a comment like that, Kim? I'm just asking.
That would be fine. Yeah, we
Just a
could,
guideline for
Yep.
somebody that's in that situation.
Yep. we could definitely add that.
Because I think the defined probation would depend a lot on what's going on. You know, is it someone coming in late every day, or is it
Correct.
Different from Randy's.
walking out with a box of staples every day? Paper clips.
So basically, the length of probation would be discussed during the final, or addressed at the final written warning. Okay.
So,
That would probably be a joint thing between that person's direct report supervisor and the HR committee, I would imagine, would determine that.
I think the way I envision it, you have an employee and you sit down, whoever their report is. I don't want to get too top heavy with this. This is one person in one department, their manager would be informed, their manager's manager, Gary would be informed. I don't think it has to get more convoluted than that. I think that's pretty straightforward. I mean, it's not that we have 50 people working here. So that's my thought.
My thought was, if sometimes you have something between the supervisor and the employee, the HR committee or even the township board would be a mediator in that to set the probation.
I think that confuses the issue. This is pretty straightforward. So it's 3 steps, and the 4th step is termination. Let's give it a shot. To be honest, I don't ever anticipate needing it, which is a good thing.
I hope not as well.
So if we find it does not work, we can tweak it then, but to have something in our HR manual, I think this is a good
well,
way to start.
I go back when Mike originally wrote this, he said that we can update this at any time. We're updating it now.
Yeah.
If we see an issue in that, we can update it at a later date.
Absolutely.
I'm good to go.
Okay.
Yeah. The only thing that I would point out is I've seen a whole lot of these types of policies, and we would have to decide, does it have to be with the second, going from verbal to written warning? Is it for a similar offense, or do different offenses follow their own track? So if I stole paper clips one month and then I bumped into Gary's car deliberately the next, and I stole Randy's hat the next, would that be 3 verbals, or would that be all the way to a final? Do you know what I mean? Are they compounded or not? So we might want to think about that maybe down the road. I know we're not going to use it, but
Right.
just,
Right.
sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, and like I said, this can be tweaked. We're all very open-minded about that.
Yeah.
But I would like to just get something in the manual at this point, just some basic guidelines.
Yeah, it's good.
So would you like a motion for
Sure.
that? I would like to move that we approve the org chart and employee conduct corrective action policy into the Almont Township HR manual as presented.
Support.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor with support.
With the mods, though, right?
Yeah, as presented, and I'll get this typed up and sent to you.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
So I had a question on the,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
on the org chart.
Mhm.
Should the building department, the assessor, Ida and Don also be dotted lined to the township board?
I don't think so. They all do fall under Gary. So that is the way I laid it out. Again, if you want to play around with it and come up with something, I'm not opposed. My feelings are not hurt. Give it a go. Let's see, what we can do. I had help with this. Jen was gracious enough to help me, come up with this.
So normally they'll put a dash line between all the blue boxes.
Yeah.
That essentially shows, all of them at the same level. I've seen it done like that.
Okay.
We can do it whatever way makes sense.
I will be happy to add that dashed
Good.
line on this document.
Yep.
Not a problem.
Yep.
Make sure it's blue. Thank
Okay,
you.
not a problem. I will work on that first thing tomorrow.
Are you okay with the motion, Jenny, right now?
Can you just add taking effect today?
And I would like to amend my motion, taking effect as of today.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so motion is on the floor with support. All in favor?
I
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. Item number 3, Ferguson Cemetery Building. We recently took over the Ferguson Cemetery. Obviously, it needed some updating, and on that building, from my knowledge, that building wasn't, given any restoration efforts probably in the last 20 to 25 years, I think. It's missing a door on the basement on the rear of the building. The front door was in a state of disrepair. We had a bid from Yard Services, our cemetery maintenance crew, back in May, of roughly $4,800 to bring this building up to snuff. So I think the cemeteries as a whole, we have 4 now, do need some updating, not only on the computer services, locating graves, but on the maintenance issues as well. So I'm putting this before the board, looking for approval to move ahead with the refurbishing of the building at Ferguson Cemetery tonight. So opening the board up to some discussion on that topic.
Do we
I'm pretty
have,
familiar with the building out there. It's in desperate need of it. I have no problem moving forward with it. Try to keep it and restore it a little bit. The only thing I had was the eave troughs on it. Are they staying or going?
Well, I was talking to Jerry about that. He'd like to keep them,
Okay.
but
I mean, for looks maybe, but
Right.
I mean, eventually they'll probably rot off, but
May.
that's fine. I don't have a problem with it.
I don't know how old that building dates back, but I'm assuming it's probably turn of the century at least.
Do we have to get more than one bid?
Did we? No.
Do we have to?
Pardon me?
Do we have to?
Not necessarily.
This is, I would say, cemetery, within the cemetery, and we have a sexton.
Right.
I mean, I painted that building years ago, and
Oh,
it
did you?
ain't no fun. It ain't no fun.
That's why the paint's wearing off. You're the guy that did it.
I think it's a good idea, part of the municipality, part of our role is to keep up the cemeteries and do
And-
things like this.
And I
I'm
also
up
think
for it,
that,
yeah.
right now out there, that cemetery looks 200% better than it
Right.
did in the last 10 years. Jerry did a lot of work out there already on filling in the grave sites that have been neglected, doing things out there, removing shrubs. I think as far as updating maintenance out there, I think we're closing in on the end of it right now. I mean, it needed a lot of work and it's looking good. So I guess I'd make a motion to move forward with having the estimate that provided by Yard Services.
We have a motion on the floor. Do we have any support?
Support.
Okay, motion with support. Any other further discussion, questions, comments?
where does this get funded from? Is it from the general fund or?
At this point, yes.
Can that come out of the cemetery fund?
Pardon me?
Can that come out of the cemetery fund or should it?
Well, the Scott Settlement Cemetery has a separate fund, okay? We have a maintenance fund, but generally speaking, it's probably gonna come out of the general fund, yes.
All the proceeds from the sales of the lots, anything like that is going into the general fund.
Oh, okay. So it's not being funded into, okay.
Correct,
And that's
yes.
fine.
Okay, motion's on the floor with support. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Okay, motion carries. Item number 4, parking lot drains. We got 2 bids, one from Rock and Ron's, one from Orlando's Masonry. And what this is to work in conjunction with the repaving of the parking lots. The catch basins, if you will, have sunk, I guess. They're cracked around the outside perimeter of the actual cover. So we felt it was probably a good idea, recommended to have those updated. So we have 2 bids, one from Rock and Ron's. That would be two covers, and also taking the downspout off the building, open cutting the concrete and putting that drain into the catch basin so we can eliminate the ice issues on the sidewalk. At any rate, Rock and Ron's bid was $5,600, $5,600, and Orlando's was $9,500. So, any questions, comments, or concerns from the board?
Is this going to address the downspout?
Pardon me?
Is this going to
Yes,
address?
This
Yes.
also
That'll
was-
fix
Also, I
that.
talked to Joe about it the other day, about burying it out there because, been some concern about it freezing. I don't believe it's gonna be a problem because it's gonna go down and it's gonna drain right into that catch basin.
Okay,
The other thing is too, if we have the ice buildup out there on that side, I showed Jenny today when I came up here, because I was kind of outside there by the generator, there's an outlet out there already for a plug. And I did have East Trout people out here because we were trying to figure out if it was sloped the right way. He said it's pretty rough edge up there when it was put up, but he said it's as good as it's gonna get. I asked him about putting something in the eave trough, and he said that they don't do it due to liability, but I'm sure there's things around. I'm sure Don's familiar with things to put up there to get rid of ice. Yeah. So that's something that we might have to plug in out there and lay something out there or whatever. But I mean, even when it's not raining, it's draining across the cement out here.
the ice in the winter is a death
Yeah.
trap. It's
Yeah.
bad.
Well,
It's a slip hazard.
Yeah.
Right, for sure.
so I think it's a good thing.
Agreed.
And this square thing around the manhole covers, I guess you go into a parking lot and you look at it, and a lot of them have it. Some of the cement pieces are cracked around there, but I did notice on some of the manhole covers now, they put saw cuts in the concrete out there. So I don't know if that's something they're gonna do or what, but
That's just the one over here, Andy.
yeah, that one and this one out here in the back.
Both of them, good.
Yeah, this one's gonna be raised up a lift
Yeah, it looks like it.
because it's sunk down.
Yep. So then we need to coordinate this ahead of the paving schedule.
That is correct. We already kind of called Rock and Ron and said, if we go with this, are you able to get on it? I believe he said he could do it right away, right, Gary?
That's correct.
Yeah.
So the areas around the manholes would be shared with the village.
Jenny, I will hand that over to you.
Well, the one is on our side. This one in the back, they said they wanted to wait on it and not do it. Both Randy and I kind of agreed, like, if we're gonna do it, why not do it now and have them both done correctly?
Ahead of
So-
the paving.
Right, ahead of the.
Yeah,
meeting.
I mean, if we want to leave the one in the back, we can. I don't know. It seems like they should. Well,
They split the
But they
parking,
said
they
they
split
had
the
some
parking lot
trees
with
over.
us.
What's that?
They split the parking lot with us.
The question was asked.
I mean, is the parking lot's not gonna be done properly if we don't do this work? I mean, I'm kind of surprised this wasn't caught by the paving companies.
They said that they can do it, but that one out there, that they were gonna charge extra for if that needed a lift, which everybody says it needs a lift. So you're gonna see somebody down there doing some masonry work. But then that would be the cost on our side of the asphalt, because it's over here. They have some drains over here, but they don't care. No, I agree. They can pay for the thing, but I think Jenny went over there. You don't want me to go talk to him.
I spoke to
It
him as
won't be-
well, and
It won't, yeah.
he just, right, he doesn't feel it's necessary, so they don't want to be part of that project.
It's not much more to add that one, right? What, did he tell you what, if you only did this one, how much it was?
The only thing that he told me how much it would be if we only did the downspouts out here. I think he bid that at
Okay, I see.
$1,800.
Oh,
And he said it'd be another 1,000 because it wouldn't be a lot of cement. There's a minimum of cement. Yeah, it was $1,800. He said it'd be $2,800 if we just did the downspout. But he added everything together and never pulled it apart.
So it looks like Orlando is saying about 2,000 per drain. Now, I don't know if they specifically are differentiating between that one and this one. It must be in that ballpark.
Well, I think the one needs to be raised up like.
No, I know, I'm just saying that
But yeah, I agree.
his cost was 2,000 per, so it must be in that ballpark, yeah.
Yeah, even
Oh, I see what you're saying.
even if that one out there, they shared the cost of that one halfway, or do we put cement halfway around on our side? I really don't, that's fine with me.
We don't have a hole in our side of the boat.
Maybe they'll drive around and fall in the hole out there.
Is there 2 or 3? Because
Just-
There's
Orlando's,
only gonna be doing 2 manhole with the cement. The other one that's right out here in the parking area doesn't get the traffic, so they're not gonna do that one. They're plumbing it into it.
The downspout. into that
Yes,
one.
the downspout one.
So we have a motion, correct?
We don't have a motion yet. I thought we did.
But Rock and Ron said they could start as soon as this gets approved one way or the other.
We told him that it was tonight when we were, and we asked when, and he said, just let him know after it gets approved and he'll move on it.
Right.
So,
He's talking a day or two job on it, so
so when they backfill it, it's gonna set and settle before, and then they'll add more material before they do the parking lot?
they will put the 10 by 10 cement around the drains,
Mhm.
but where the downspout goes
Mhm.
out there, they're taking the whole slab off, the square. They're not gonna angle cut it. They're gonna take that one that's already cut out, the whole thing.
Mhm.
And then he is going to backfill that where the drain goes and just leave it for asphalt where the drain goes. Cause he said there's no sense putting any asphalt in there or anything, but he'll make it so that it's backfilled.
And they're doing the asphalt this year?
Well, Gary was trying to call Scott and he said he had to get with Travis because
and we're finishing up a couple big jobs, so I'm waiting to hear back from them yet, so haven't heard from them. But they know we want to do it this year, so hopefully there's time yet.
asphalt plants usually close about the 15th of November.
Do they? Season.
I've had experience with both of these companies and they're both outstanding. So if they said they can do it, they'll get it done. They both do a great job.
I'll move to approve Rock and Ron's Concrete and Trucking Incorporation proposal dated 9/22/25 for $5,600.
We have a motion on the floor. We have support. We have support. Any other questions, comments, concerns? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed?
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. Item number 5.
Let me ask one question.
Oh, go ahead.
If they raise that up, is that going to be a hazard out here until the asphalt's matched up with it? Do you know, Randy? Because that thing's sunk pretty good.
I know. I think they might put something around it there,
Okay.
or put a cone in it or whatever, or maybe just put some limestone in there.
Okay.
He's gonna have some limestone, I'm sure, to backfill.
Yeah.
If it's, I'll find some limestone somewhere to get up here.
Hope Freeze gets right on it minimum.
Yeah, well, tomorrow we should get a hold of them and find out what's going on.
Yeah, I'll give them a call. Okay, item number 5, deputy supervisor appointment. Some time ago, it was discussed amongst myself and some board members about a need possibly for a deputy supervisor. And at the time, I didn't feel that that was a necessary thing. However, I'm going to be undergoing a few surgeries, I guess, in the near future. One will be on November 20th of next month on a knee replacement. Tentatively March of next year on the other knee replacement. And again, at some point after that, a shoulder replacement. So I am going to appoint Cynthia Grosbeck, my wife, as a deputy supervisor to be used on a contingent basis, okay? She will not have any real impact on our budget at this point in time, but I will bring her in to get her, I guess, acquainted with what my responsibilities are, or what her responsibilities are in my absence. So I just wanted to bring that to the board's attention, okay? If the discussion was had briefly on wages, and that's totally a board decision, okay? That's not my decision. Her hours would be something that is subject to board approval and her wages. So, but I will be appointing her, probably will be sworn in tomorrow if Jenny is available. So if there's any questions, comments, or concerns on that, now's the time. Okay, if not, we'll move on to public comment.
Well, back up.
Back up?
Yeah.
Well, you spoke about hours and wages. If you're gonna swear her in tomorrow, we should set a wage, I think, tonight. I don't have a problem doing it. And hours, I mean, I don't have a problem. I understand that, she comes up here and she's gonna be working or whatever. Hourly, I don't know. It's up to the board, but I think we should talk about it right now. Get it over with.
Okay, all right. Have at it.
Well, it's a decision of whether it's a deputy or a deputy assistant. There's a distinction.
It should be a deputy supervisor.
There is a subtle distinction. There's a deputy, then there's a deputy assistant who is able to actually do the work. A deputy fills in for your statutory responsibilities when you aren't there, but you two are never there at the same time. A deputy assistant is there and also has the ability to do work on your behalf. Okay, there is a difference. So that we're actually calling her a deputy assistant.
I'll have to research it, Mike, okay? She would work at, just like Jenny's or Kim's deputies, they work at the discretion of that elected official. So I just don't want to leave that office in a lurch in my absence. I don't plan on being gone that long, but that's the game plan.
Right.
So.
I get it. And she, in that capacity, and I have no problem at all with her being in that role, but she doesn't have a vote at a meeting. We have to also select a moderator. We can do that.
Right. She
Then or now, however you want to handle it.
She cannot vote at a meeting. She cannot chair a meeting.
Right.
Okay, a deputy supervisor cannot do those things.
So if you want
They
to
can
cover
assist
all that,
in all the other aspects of the job. Right. So I guess it's the board's discretion on what they want to do with the, as far as the hours, I don't have that really to offer you tonight, okay? That's something that we'll have to, I guess, see how it plays out, all right? But if you want to assign a wage to it, that's your privilege and responsibility, so.
Well, I like the idea of her stepping in while you're going to be undergoing your transformation to bionic.
My
You know.
rebuilding, right?
You're rebuilding.
Right.
So I like that you guys have kind of thought ahead on that. I think that makes sense. A lot of communities in Michigan, especially northern Michigan, do the very same thing. They have the spouse just kind of be available if needed. So I don't know. I mean, my deputy, $20 an hour, that was to start. I know our HR manual is maybe a little different. And I guess we just need to talk about that a little bit. And then her hours would be like as needed.
As needed.
Okay. So I would be fine with the $20 an hour, just like the other deputies are getting.
That makes sense. I think the hours would be up to you, Gary.
Right.
Correct.
Yeah, so it's just the board to set the wages.
Well, the board will be appraised of her hours, obviously.
Mhm.
Okay.
Right.
What did we stipulate? Did we stipulate it at $20 for the starting, the probationary period, or was it
Yeah.
18?
I brought the latest I had.
Yeah,
The latest I had was August 11th. Does that sound right?
it's about right. Yeah.
So if I look through this,
It might have started at 18 and then jumped up after probation
I
to 20.
think
But just
so, and that's why, we just need to talk about that a little bit. However, that was for a different employee. That didn't include the deputies. They were handled in a different,
We're not overly
Way.
concerned about.
Okay.
I'm just trying to follow the manual that we
Right,
spent a lot of
right.
time putting together.
right. Yeah, it does look like it would be $18 an hour, subject to COLA adjustment if approved by the board and applicable for the entire 90-day probationary period. And then after the 90 days, she'd be eligible for a merit raise to $20 per hour. So it would be an $18 an hour starting.
So I have a question then. So it talks about 90 days.
Yeah.
Let's say she comes in and starts tomorrow.
Mhm.
That's 90 days of working days or just 90 days? She might only work 3
Right,
days and 90 days are up, right? Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And if we did a evaluation and she was okay, then we could move her to 20.
Whatever the board's pleasure.
I'm just gonna say, I think it's a good idea. I just hope that she doesn't come home and say, Gary, I had a rough day there and just bothers you all night long.
I think it's a month. I think it's a true 90 days, just a true 90 days.
Since starting.
I'll tell her leave it at work.
Yeah.
Hope this doesn't
No, I
cause,
think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want a motion, do we need a motion or you're just doing it?
Well, as far as your wages, I think you're looking for a motion. I mean, it's up to you.
I think,
We've adopted the HR manual. We've adopted the HR manual.
Right.
I assume the HR manual addresses the deputy supervisor. I don't think you need a motion, to be honest with you.
Okay.
I think we might need a motion to accept his appointment.
We haven't, for the other deputies, we did make a motion just
Yeah,
accepting.
I'm
his
pretty sure that's in the
Okay.
red book. I'm pretty sure
Appointment
that's
of-
in the red book.
Is that your motion, Rick?
I make a motion that we support the appointment of Cynthia, what was her last name? Grossbeck.
I'm 97.
To be deputy supervisor, effective immediately.
Or, okay, motion's on the floor with support. Any other questions, comments?
Are we going to add any of that in there? Is it covered?
it is covered, including deputy supervisor.
Yeah.
It is covered.
Paid in accordance with the HR manual stipulations.
Okay. We have a motion on the floor with support. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Okay, motion is approved. Public comment, anything else from the public? Let's,
I do have a couple.
yes, sir.
Those of you who know my background know it's hard for me to be quiet. First of all, there is a large brass plaque that goes on the Ferguson Cemetery building, and I'll get that up to here. I've been threatening to bring it for quite some time.
Okay,
Scope of work for this work around this drain. I get really nervous when I hear almost a 50% increase between two bidders. Was the scope of work clear and defined for each bidder? Just a point of interest. This particular drain out here is sinking because could be for two reasons. One is compaction, and it's sunk over a long period of time, so that's probably out. The second one is there's a hole in the drain or the structure that is siphoning the fill away and causing a void to allow that asphalt to settle. Need to make sure that's fixed properly. If it's fixed properly, it doesn't make any difference if it has concrete or asphalt around it. It shouldn't fail. So those are my two.
And I do believe that Rock and Ron, when he was out here, he said when that all comes apart, that he was gonna check the bottom structure.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
the fill under.
Oh, I know what you're talking about, Don. Yep,
Switching away.
Yep.
And that's why that's set.
yep. The whole bottom base of it could be just going down.
Well, I suspect it's a small hole near the outlet pipe.
Right.
And when it rains hard, it's just taking the fill.
Right.
Asphalt is just a dust cover. It's only as good as the substrate below. Okay.
Well, and they are gonna be grinding this up, the millings out of here, and they're gonna compact that down.
Yeah, that's a good.
And then they're putting the asphalt on top.
Yeah, as long as when they put your drain line in and fix your structures, the proper compaction is achieved before you pellet it. You should have it.
When they do that, we'll let you know,
You should do
and you
that.
can drive by.
Absolutely.
And we have Joe here also, that maybe he could kind of,
and Don, I appreciate those comments, and I, you know, when you do look at the two bids, that, yeah, they're,
Yeah,
Makes
a
you
lot of
wonder.
times it's perception that
Right.
causes differences in
Right.
pricing.
And the rebuild on the manhole was actually over and above that on the Orlando quote. Cause he said that if it was broken block at the manhole for mudding that up and repairing that, it's $750 per drain. So that wasn't even included.
Yeah, I don't know how you put the thing on the street for bid. It's just one of the things that always concerns me when I see two subcontractors come back to me, one's here and one's here. Somebody doesn't have the same, information.
Well, it could be that one company doesn't really want to do it either, so they lost the price up.
So little proper schedule.
I mean, look at it with the baseball dugouts. That's all over the place.
We should probably have made that contingent too, that if, we don't want to do that if we're not doing the parking lot this year. If they're unable to do the parking lot, we don't want that sticking up and DPW coming in and hitting that with a plow, nor leaving
and
an
also I do
open
believe,
trench.
the curb out here that's broken,
Mhm.
Rock and Ron said he was fixing that, didn't he?
the edge of the curb, yeah,
The
he
edge of
said
the
he
curb.
would repair that.
But yeah,
We'll make a phone call tomorrow, see where they're at with this,
and then we'll
make
just
sure
kind
there
of
is time.
try to get a timing on it there, make sure it's gonna happen before you call Rock and Ron.
Yeah, I would make sure that's a pretty firm commitment. Like I
Right.
said, you don't want that sticking up, 4-inch lift, and then you see what they do with the plows now.
Okay, anything else from the public? Board discussion, zoning ordinance. Dennis, I'm gonna refer to you on that.
We've been talking about redoing the zoning ordinance for probably a year. And of course, we have had a little bit of confusion with Rowe, and now we had Wade Trim taking over. So I've asked Wade Trim to provide an estimate and a scope of work. It's pretty well defined, I think. The price tag's a little bit higher than I think anybody expected at $29,500. But it's a complete overhaul of the zoning ordinance, the current zoning ordinance, that is probably long overdue. And if you had an opportunity to look at, Attica Township has what Wade Trim uses as their template, if you will. That's the end product of what we would get for the 29.5. So the proposal from Wade Trim, and it's a complete overhaul. There's a lot of deficiencies in that current zoning ordinance. There's a lot of improvements, a lot of room for improvements. So what the proposal is to start in January with an audit phase. I think you guys have seen the proposal, the timeframe. They're looking to do it through a subcommittee. It's very, very difficult to do it through a 7-member planning commission board. It just takes too much time. We made an attempt at this back in January or February, and I'm going to tell you, we spent 2.5 or 3 hours, and we got to section 213 of 14 sections. That's what it took to get just to about a third through Article 2. So the Wade Trim proposal looks at a subcommittee. I've got some volunteers. One board member would be Gary Grossbeck. Bonnie Kraus has volunteered. Nick Giacalone, and we would have the zoning administrator, Ida. It's a 12-month effort. It's $29.5, invoiced on a monthly basis. And we had a lengthy discussion with Caitlin on last Wednesday. She wants to start her part of the audit in December, and then the subcommittee would meet in January. Would be the first meeting with the subcommittee. I know there was some debate over how often the subcommittees were going to meet, and I believe it ended up at 3 weeks, but that can be determined when the subcommittee actually sits down and talks. I think it's long overdue. There's a lot of problems with this current zoning ordinance that I think needs to be looked at and fixed. And I think we've seen it in several different areas around the township. And so it'll be the pleasure of the board to fund it, but it'll be invoiced on a monthly basis. Right now, the plan would be 12 months. What I've seen in that ordinance, I'll be surprised if you get it done in 12 months. It's going to be a freaking challenge. And I don't know if the candidates want to hear that we're here tonight, but it's going to be a little bit of work. If I can answer any questions, I'd be glad to.
I have a question on their agreement. It's a little confusing. Letter C.
Say again, Jim?
On the agreement, on letter C, it says owner agrees to establish an allowance of 0 for additional services. But then in parentheses, it says not less than 10% of the compensation amount in letter B. Well, that would be $2,950. So I'm
Where are you?
confused.
I don't know.
It's on the agreement page.
Second to the last page.
I guess I'm just confused because it contradicts itself.
Which letter is that?
Letter C. Like, I don't know why they have that parentheses amount.
The first part of the sentence says that there's no additional
There's no,
cost.
but then it says
And
no
then it
less
says-
than 10,
Either or.
right? It's contradicting itself. I was just questioning it.
I think it's a standard contract, and she was clear on Wednesday that it was lump sum. This was it wasn't anything more, but it was a lump sum bill.
It looks like there are some additional charges that could be, that we could be looking at. The meetings where the subcommittee gets together, says basically, we've got the initial 5, it looks like is part of that $29.5 fee. And any more would be $600 per meeting. And then after that, if they meet, they anticipate holding up to 7 meetings with the planning commission to review the content. Any additional meetings beyond this will be billed at a fixed fee of $600 per meeting. So I think you're looking at some sneaky $600 charges that could find themselves adding up rather quickly.
So the 7 planning commission meetings would be under the task drafts, right?
I'm looking right here, it's under task 5, meetings and additions.
Oh, right.
But yeah, Dennis, you're right. I would
Yeah.
think drafts from April to October, or month-wise, yeah.
Right.
But depending on when if she starts in December, that would all change. I guess my first question is she confident that the current master plan is a good starting point to do a complete overhaul on?
We're not touching the master.
But the zoning ordinance is based on the master.
It's gonna
plan.
follow the master plan.
Right. Is she confident in what she's seen?
I
in the
think she
master-
is, yeah.
Okay.
And let's not forget too that Caitlin worked for Rowe at the time we put together this ordinance. So this is kind of her work that we would be redoing.
It's actually Scott's.
But that was part of their team. It was before that.
I think it
It
was
was-
before Kate. I mean, she came in at the very end.
Well, I think, though, a good point, Kim, but I think that if they do the weight trim process, procedure that they did in Attica Township, that's a significant change from what Rowe has done with what we got right now. And we can get clarification, because Caitlin's a call away. I don't have any problem with that, but I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
I looked at it as if we dictated an extra meeting, because she did say, I asked her about cutting the cost, and she said we could take out one meeting where the board and the planning commission come together. So that's $600, but that's about it. So.
It's a gulp.
It is a gulp.
30,000, it's a
Yep.
gulp. And you and I have talked about this. And, I have always been taught that your zoning, you have to look if your zoning ordinance is working by how many times people are going to the zoning board of appeals asking for a variance from the zoning ordinance. And we don't have anybody doing that.
Right.
So I have to assume it's working. Is it perfect? No. It needs some tweaking by all means, but I don't know that it's a $30,000 project that is necessary. And like I told you the other day, we got computers for about 40,000 we got to look at next year or two.
Right.
So that's where I'm at with it.
Well, I think that the benefit that we have in the 30,029.5 is you can go to Attica Township and see the end product, and it's significantly different than what we've got here today. And so you've got an opportunity to know what you're going to get at the end of the 30,000.
But the meat of the ordinance change or just the format?
Both. There's some significant problems with this ordinance. We've seen it in the pond requirements. We've seen it in sign requirements. We've seen it in site plan reviews. We've seen it in putting up towers. I don't want to mention concrete crushing.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Okay.
Definitions are short. It's A to Z.
Yeah.
In my opinion, but.
Dennis, do you think it's, over here, will they give us and I'm going to call it a red line version that shows the specific changes that got made? Because you kind of got to know what was in place, because a lot of things will be grandfathered, and then what changes were made or what adjustments were made going forward. How do they identify that? Do you know?
They will do that. I specifically asked to be able to track the new changes from the old ordinance.
Okay, so
Because
we'll
10 years from now, they're going to want to know, where did that come from? And it should be able to go back to what we have today.
So that's part of their scope to give us that,
That
I
was
call
my
it a red
understanding.
line,
Was that
but
on your standing, Bonnie?
But we're gonna have the changes, but we're gonna have a brand new ordinance. So you have to understand, because we talked about this, when we overhauled an engineering ordinance in Washington, it went from, because the overhaul was complete, you're gonna adopt a new ordinance. You're gonna adopt a new zoning ordinance with a 2026 date on it, or 2026, we know. So it's gonna be an adoption of that ordinance. You're gonna keep that other ordinance because you have to, and that's what, and you're gonna have a new date. So you got the old ordinance, and then you're gonna completely replace that with your new ordinance. As we go through it, as the subcommittee goes through it, she's gonna be the one going through and turning every single page. And if she sees something where she feels like it needs to be hit, it's gonna be an overarching hit, and it's gonna be brought to the subcommittee. And if it needs to, then if the subcommittee is not comfortable with it, it goes then to the full planning commission. So that's the benefit of having a township board member along with us on our journey, so that the township board is aware of the changes that are going on.
I think her 5-month audit process is going to generate a red line document.
It will.
Yeah, I would assume there would be some document that it used to
It'll
say
be the before,
10 feet
the
and
after.
now it says 12 feet and there should be a line through it or something. And then I don't want to have to figure out, okay, what changed? You know, what did we add or subtract or what was deleted, which is the hardest part, is knowing what got deleted.
So there's gonna be highlights of everything that got changed.
Got it. Okay.
So,
But it's gonna be completely reorganized, so know that as well. It's not gonna be in the same spot it used to be. It's not necessarily a change. It's just not gonna be laid out the same way it was laid out before.
so I think, Jenny, maybe we can get together and get the agreement page straightened out, because I'm not the owner. I already told her that. I'm not the 29.5 guy. So I think that's going to be named as a township with Gary's name on it, is what I was told. I don't know if that's the way to do it, but we can straighten that out. between now.
It just contradicts itself. You
Roger
know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I just was questioning it.
And there's no possible way that we could do this by sections. If there's a section that has been troublesome, or we know there's some issues, can we not do it and pick the sections that need help and updating rather than the whole thing? I mean, I was on the planning commission from 2007 to 2023. So I kind of know, I've kind of been through this a time or two. And I know that the zoning ordinance is a constant project of updating. And I don't remember ever just redoing the whole thing at this kind of money. So that's why I'm wondering if we still can't save it in a more fiscally,
Reasonable number?
yeah, that's a good way to put it. It's not like it's garbage. It's working. So can we just fix the certain sections that you feel need some help?
Well, I think because of the way they use that template, they do the whole thing and it all flows together. If you look at the Attica Township, you'll see what I'm talking about. Because one article feeds another article. Well, it doesn't always, but that's a good question. But I think the thing to do, I think once you start into it, you're going to find some significant challenges. I really do. I've seen them. And I've been harping about this for over a year, that it needs to be revamped. I never expected this price tag. I agree with you, Kim.
Yeah, I did the math, and it's like basically $2,500 a month for a year.
Yep.
It's gonna come down to it eventually, that you're just gonna have to redo the whole thing. If you go pick and choose what is not right now, you're gonna have that in there, but then that's gonna become old and dilapidated. Then you're gonna have to go through and do the other parts. You're gonna end up doing the whole thing, I believe.
I think so, Randy.
That's
I think
my
the audit's
spin.
going to review a lot, or reveal a lot.
If you're gonna sit down and put the time and the effort into it, do it all, do it right. That's my opinion. I'm only one board member though.
So this is board discussion this evening, possibly an agenda item for next month. Is that what we're thinking?
You know, we can get with Jenny's point and get a hold of Wade, Trim, and
Yeah, what's the board feel? Do we want to move on with this, or do we just throw it out tonight? I think that would be a good question for the board. Do you want to move on or not? You're going to waste a lot of time yet, with a lot of questions here, and it's just going to drag out. I say move on. That's my 2 cents.
I think it needs to be done. The consensus of the planning commission was that it needs to get done.
I think it's salvageable at a lower rate. I don't see the need for a, $29,500 to redo it like this.
Food for thought until next month then, is that what we're doing?
I say move it to next month. It's obviously going to come from the general fund if we do this, because we're not budgeted for it.
Do you think having Caitlin come in to discuss it with the board would be appropriate, or?
Sure, in November? Yeah. We'll get the agreement squared away for Jenny's comments and take my name off of it. So we're ready for November?
Well, to give us all an opportunity to look at the Attica one too, because I didn't.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Is it electronically linked? Is that one of the parts of it? So it's tied to like the table of uses, so when you're in section 2.13.
Yep.
Caitlin sent out a link to Attica Township. I assume the board members got it.
I didn't get it.
No?
I don't.
I'll do that. Or you can go to Attica Township and bring up their ordinance section.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Prunella Drive is the next item here. We had Corey Mayberry went out to Prunella, this gentleman from Prunella, Brian, was given a copy of this estimate for reconstructing Prunella Drive. Brian originally, the resident out there originally came with a $200,000 price tag attached to that for redoing that road. Corey's got a price tag of $270,000, $269,838. The board has got to, at some point soon, and I'd like to see it next month, put this to sleep one way or another. We've got 25 or 30 private roads.
35.
I don't think we're necessarily, this is just my opinion, we're not a lending agency here. If this catches on, which it will, we'll be in the process of repaving many of these private roads. So the board at some point is going to have to make a policy decision. Do we get involved in private road reconstruction? According to our attorney, according to our engineer, they don't recommend that we get involved, that we're not that large of a township with that large of a bankroll to support these efforts. So I guess what I would like to do is draft up a policy, present it to the board next month on a motion. But I need more feedback from the board.
Support.
Pardon me?
Support.
Okay, all right.
I agree. There's,
Yeah.
I think the last count I counted, there was 35 private roads in Almont Township. Those are only going to increase because the road commission are not taking on anymore. Daisy Lane was the last road they said they'd take on. So you're just going to keep increasing more private roads.
So and that's something that kind of goes into the zoning ordinance too, of holding these developers accountable for their HOA, how they establish that whole system on how that works. Because some of them, it's $200 a month.
Like
and then all of a
I
sudden-
live on a private road and I moved there in 07 and I have never paid an HOA. It kind of just dissolved. And so we have no HOA in ours.
Generally,
It
what
never started.
Oh, it never started? I thought it did start. I thought Tom said it did.
No.
Okay.
Kim, you do a road maintenance.
We had a complete homeowners agreement, and after there were some troubles with some neighbors wanting to do some unilateral ditching on their property that screwed some other things up, we changed it, disbanded that, and have a road maintenance agreement only. But it is not a paved road. It's lime. It's
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it still applies, right?
It does.
The number's just higher, that's all.
it's right, exactly. Yeah.
So in fairness to Prunella Drive, the number that you see here does not include administrative costs, because all of the costs associated with creating the special assessment district and
That-
essentially administering it,
right.
it is not included here. MTA will tell you it's about typically 10% of the total project cost. We pay for that up front, and then we collect it back over the 20 or 30-year term of the SAD. at a % over market rate. So I'm just saying the 269, I wouldn't want them to be surprised if the total did come out to about 300 with the cost of posting meetings, the cost of Bill Siebert doing the lineup and everything else. There's other costs on top of that.
And this will be pricey because I have seen them go at 7 years, 10 years, nothing really longer than that. So this is a little pricey. This will be a chunk.
Especially moving forward with a lot of these site condos, that's a big issue.
Mhm.
Controlling how that plays out and protecting the residents down the road.
Okay, we'll take a stab at coming up with a township policy reference that for next month and make it an agenda item. Dennis, you requested Hollow Corners drainage issues to be discussed tonight. We did have an engineering report from Corey on that issue over there with the Campbell Pond.
Yeah, I guess it's what I'm looking at, Gary, August 20th. Basically, his bottom line, the construction of the berms are impeding surface water, which is in a violation of township ordinances. So we got a report from our engineer, which we asked him to do. I just don't know what the fix is. So we got a problem. We identified it, but nobody's got the rose pinned on them to do. I don't know if that's Corey's job. I don't know if that's Joe's job. But I think Randy and Gary, you guys are most knowledgeable of all the problems that are out there with that water flow and these ponds that have been, well, this one is impeding the natural water flow. And I don't know how many times Corey's been out there. I don't see a bill from him. So the pond permit fee is $270 to cover engineering and the building department. I know he's been out there at least twice, probably 3 or 4 times. So I don't know where we go with this. I mean, here we have a report from our engineer. There's got to be a solution developed somewhere. And I think, Gary, we talked about it earlier. Are they building something around the berms? Are they?
Well, the discussion was, and you know, Dennis, this goes back, 20 years.
Right.
I think we were out here 20 years ago looking at a similar situation in that area, okay? And I don't know, Mike Campbell's, was the other fellow, Randy, what was his name?
Editard?
Yeah, Etard, right. Corey in bold print at the bottom of his second paragraph says the constructed berms are impeding the surface water, which is a violation of the permit and township ordinances. So this is something that, if we didn't get cooperation, I guess, from the homeowner, you could end up in court on this situation, right? Yeah. So I'm not sure, I guess, I don't know where the discussion has been recently amongst the neighbors. When we get these 100-year storms, that's when these things become very obvious to everyone. Everyone gets excited, and then when it dries back out, you have a normal rainy season, they generally don't hear from them. But it is a problem. I don't know, we talked about having Eagle get involved. I don't know if that's a proper outlet or not. I'm not sure. Mike, you seem like you got something to say.
I'm confused. We have an ordinance that was violated. It has to be corrected. If we're not going to correct a violation of an ordinance, then don't waste 30,000 rewriting all the ordinances. It's the way I look at it. There's a very clear direction here. I don't understand the struggle.
Right, the residents don't enforce the ordinance, we do.
Yeah, and I don't want to be responsible for the next flooding because I've been put officially on notice that here is the problem. It is a violation of an ordinance. You need to take action. If we don't take action, now it's our fault. That's just the way I look at it.
I get it, I agree, but who the hell gave them the permit to put the pond there in a natural waterway? That's where I'm at. Just like in Editard's. Well, you go in there to item, oh yeah, that was the pond that they put there, and then they put it in and they come in for a permit after it was there, and Paul went out and said, okay. Same scenario. Same, causing all the water problems out there. So what I would suggest, call up Bob Siebert and say, hey, look what's going on here. Who do we send out there? Because this is probably gonna end up with some legal stuff anyway.
Well,
That's the way that I would
and
address
that
it.
was gonna be my next comment, Randy.
Yep, I agree, Gary, just,
I'll run it by Bob, and,
is it a,
if he says, listen, if it's a violation of the ordinance, Joe's gonna have to go out there and write him a violation. Okay, but the original plan was it at the Atard pond, was to dig a trench around the berms?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, but that whole area over there is a wetland in front of the Campbell house to begin with. You know,
it never used to be until that pond was put in.
Okay.
I farmed it. I farmed right through it.
Okay. All right. I'll get a hold of Bob and we'll see
We'll
what
check with Joe tomorrow, because I think when we were all out there that one day, Joe seemed to be the key guy taking the lead. He's got to be coordinated with our engineering. So I don't know where Joe stands on this. The letter's August 20th. So before you contact.
But I
don't
thought
have
in
any
one of
problem
these
contacting
letters,
Bob, but,
in one of the letters, didn't it say something about that they were contacting some excavating company to come in and do something?
that was verbal comments that I heard, I think, from Corey.
Okay.
Um,
Well, I think we need to put that in high gear before.
Well, I would think
Letter
too
sets
that
in.
if we don't want an excavator out there just doing anything.
Right.
We want our engineering involved.
Was the pond put in before the house was built or after the house was built?
After the, I think they were using it for fill around the
Right.
house.
Right.
I think it was
Okay.
put in before, I think.
So wasn't there a site plan submitted when the house was built showing where the pond would be? How did
Anytime.
this get a C of O issued?
Right.
I think that points to an improvement in the ordinance. I'm gonna-
Dennis is like, yep, told you so.
I'm telling you. That's one of the problems.
Yikes.
Okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll talk to Joe tomorrow or Wednesday about it, what his approach to it would be, and I'll also talk to Mr. Siebert.
Okay.
Okay, just take his recommendation, but I agree with Mike. If it's a zoning, violation, then we're gonna have to act on it. So, could get expensive, we'll see.
Just so you guys all know, the assessing department sent people out to assess some properties, and no one knew, and we got quite a few angry calls, which I don't blame people, of people walking around their property they didn't know. So I ordered magnet signs, and I just ordered one set to try it out to make sure they were decent material and stuff, and I gave them to Joe to put on his car, so when he goes to do a building inspection, at least there are two big I think they were 18 by 24 on the side of each door, so at least people can identify the vehicle as an Almont Township. He's gonna test them out for a few weeks. If they are good, then I will order more for the assessing department, one for the electrical inspector, and so on, just so people are aware of who's coming into their driveway,
I
if
would
they
hope-
have cameras.
I would hope that they're making some type of contact before they come out.
They did not,
They don't always.
Yeah.
At least the assessor tries, but that necessarily doesn't always happen.
right. So just a heads up, I ordered those. Joe's gonna test them out for a few weeks and see if they're good ones.
There's a
that we
couple
ordered.
places in town, you get shot doing that.
So-
On Kid Road.
I'll shoot them.
So just wanted to give everyone a head up that I did order something, so at least we can
All right.
identify our vehicle, whoever's going out to someone's house.
Anything else, Mike?
Just two things. Last month, we talked about the state budget impact on us. So I'm not exactly sure, but it looks like Lapeer County is going to get about a $5 million increase in road funding. So we should probably talk to the road commission and find out what portion of that might flow our way. That might help us out a bit. Almont itself is going to be receiving about $5,000 for a public safety grant. It's to pay for police service if you contract for police service. But Almont looks like we're going to lose about 11,000 in the constitutional CVT revenue sharing. So net, all of it, our budget's going to take about a $5,000 hit. So the other thing that I would share with everybody, Michigan high-speed internet has submitted their final recommendations. And it looks like in Almont, surprisingly, there's a small 2-mile stretch that is going to be served by Surf Internet. The balance got awarded to Comcast. So I've got I've had some correspondence with their VP of Government Affairs. He's going to give me some more information. I'm hoping next month that we can have Comcast come in and do like the others did and say, look, here's what we're going to do. Here's the scope. Here's the area. Here's who we're going to touch. But they've got like most of the outlying area of Almont Township, all the underserved areas, as they called it, other than the 1 2-mile stretch that went to Surf Internet. There's a third party called Strategic Management. It's a consortium of 24 different cable providers. I have no idea. Nobody knows. They use a different company to front in every different location. So we won't know what they're doing until they get here. So when we find that out, we'll know. But I'm going to ask them to come in, tell us what they're doing, what part of the community they're going to be picking up, type of systems, timelines, the whole bit. So we should be able to share that with everybody in a month or so.
Thanks, appreciate it. Randy, anything?
Real quick, talked to Jason today, 3 graders in Almont Township. They're somewhere around Boardman, Bishop Road area. They're gonna grade and brine the whole township here, get it back in shape before weather turns bad, if it ever does. Also too, in talking to him, I was going down the road today, Hollow Corners and Kidder Road. I believe it was brought up at a previous meeting that there was a cross culvert out there failing and something about Jason was on vacation and he was going to get back with Jeff Schischler or something on replacing it. The culvert is at the top of the road. There's a hole in it like this. If somebody goes around there, it's in it. Jason was going to go out there, look at it today. I said, can you give us a price on it before tonight? He said, no, I'll do one better. The ditching that we approved out on Shoemaker Road by Wheatland out there, I don't remember what the cost of that was off the top of my head. It was pretty significant. It was ditching of, I don't know, 900 feet or something. They sent the engineers out there. They shot the grades. It's not in need of a ditch because they need to dump a load of dirt in the ditch and hold the water back and keep it. That'll make it go to the north. This is what the engineers said. So he said, we're going to have a significant savings out there. There will not be a project, but he could put that towards that culvert out there. He didn't have a price, but he said it'd be more than that would cover it. So just so everybody knows that
He's gonna come up with a project. No?
he will come up with a thing and submit it,
Okay.
but there'll be money left there. Also too, real quick, October 21st, which is next Tuesday, is that Great Lakes water down on 23 Mile Road at the DPW from 1:30 to 3. I'm gonna go down there. Gary's gonna go down.
Go too.
Mike's gonna go.
You'll see my name on the plaque in that building.
Before or after?
I was part of the building authority there when they built the building, so my name's on the plaque. I love going to that building. It's the only plaque that has my
It's
name
on
on
the
it.
south side of the road, right?
Huh?
It's on the south side of the road.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know where it is. Okay. But we're gonna go down there and maybe find out something there about what's going on Scott Sutherland.
Okay, sounds good. Jenny? Kim?
Just so everybody knows, the website appears to be making it a lot easier for people to connect easily to pay their tax bills and do other things. Just as an example, last year during the summer, from July 1 to September 15th, we collected $62,000 on credit card. And this year we collected $101,000. So that was about a $40,000 increase from people just being able to take advantage of that and having more direction how to do that. And also we are accepting Apple Pay now too, online. So that's it.
Very good. Rick, got anything?
I don't think so. Did you guys meet with the police chief?
Did we what?
Did you guys meet with the police chief recently?
Well, I
And
see him,
discussed about the
I see him
manpower?
generally every Monday.
Talking about the Clemis report and all that stuff?
Yeah,
Yeah, we did. Officer Kowalik and the police chief, and they walked through kind of the background on it and how the Clemis report is put together and so on and so forth. And that was, God, it was 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago.
3-hour meeting, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah. But they were very, very forthcoming with a lot of information, so.
are we getting our person 24 hours a day, 7 days a week?
They say we are. Okay. Dennis, you have anything?
I just, what Kim, you said $62,000 in credit cards for,
The summer tax season in '24,
so a lot of companies I see charge 4% in credit card.
3%, the company charges 3%. We do not get that.
We do not pass that on.
We don't pay that. The resident knows that that is built in and it adds on to their
Oh, okay.
payment.
Bill.
So we don't pay anything for that.
Okay, that's all I got.
Okay,
Could add up.
we have a motion?
I make a motion that we wish you luck with your new deputy, and also I make a motion to
Okay,
Support.
All right, all in favor?
I
Aye. Okay. Stand adjourned.